Well, Positive Polar is a Delaware-based corporation. We have our headquarters in Tampa, and we have also subsidiaries in Chile and Cayman Islands because of operational purpose and IP purposes. Our inspiration is based on what we, and the problem that we did create between the last 2 centuries when we catch almost all of the whales, my family included. My family did migrate from Denmark to Chile for whaling. The whales, there are no more whales in the North Sea, and they migrated. There was a whole exodus of families migrating from that area up to the Americas, that's how it's called. And they enlightened the Industrial Revolution. However, they didn't know the problem that they were creating. I will explain you what was that problem. My partner, Jen, she couldn't come because she's moving forward with the specific device that we are going to use to solve this problem that I will explain soon. She's a biotech expert. She's really passionate about the polar environments and the whales. And she's really great for us as a partner, and she has allowed us to move forward in some way. As I said, I come from a family of sailors from centuries, but I did also grow in Patagonia, specifically in Punta Arenas and Dawson Island. And I then also became a Navy officer, just like my father. And I did have the opportunity to see all over the world, literally, but specifically the dramatic changes of what's happening in Patagonia and Antarctica, because I was, as Marcus said, the second in command of the Chilean Navy icebreaker, but also I was the chief of the most southern helicopter station in the world in a city called Port Williams that is south of Ushuaia. So I was in charge of the rescues around Cape Horn and Antarctica. So my children did grow there also. I have 5 children. At those times, I did have only 4. However, they didn't enjoy the winter as I did, as you are seeing in that picture, because the lagoons didn't froze anymore. So all of this kind of knowing your neighbor because of the winter was a party for us, just like the cartoon of Charlie Brown, for example, right, with Snoopy and all of that. I didn't enjoy the winter like that, but my children couldn't enjoy that. They had to spend most of his time inside the house because it was raining. And the only place to go ice skating was not there, was the mall, and they had to pay for that. So it was totally different, a totally different environment. And I was shocked about that. I was, as I said, sailing and flying around. And it happened to be that they had to do a rescue of a cruise ship, the ship called Ushuaia in Paradise Bay in the year 2008. And when we put the passengers on board, that did open a whole new world for me, because I was only, my brain was only in the limited Navy world. But when I saw these passengers on board, I did, seems to be that there's a whole industry going on in Antarctica that I didn't know. So we decided to solve a problem. The problem is that the cruise ships, and the ships in particular, are considered an icon of pollution, an icon of destruction. A lot of people that doesn't even cruise because the ships are considered like that. So we said, okay, I would like to, what I love, to be considered, that is sailing, cruising, to be considered something positive and not something negative, right? Finally, I'm a captain, have spent my life 25 years in the sea. So the idea is to solve this problem. It's a huge problem. So, but there's an opportunity, there's hope. And this hope is that there's already some signs that the industry is changing and trying to do something positive for the environment. And that signs is that the cruise ships are doing what is called citizen science. And there's specific companies that are very specialized on that right now. So the passengers can do something about the environment, but mostly related with observation and what is called conservation. That is what they do right now. And there's also the statistics about how many travelers would like to travel in a more sustainable way, and also how many percentage of travelers will not go, as I said, into a cruise ship. So the idea is to transform that travel shame into travel pride, and that is what we are going to do with Positive Polar. As I said, the problem is huge, and the solution is not a magical solution. The solution has to be by phases. I have been in this, when I retired from the Navy to start this company, thanks to Jen, I thought that it was going to be quick, that we were going to buy the ship almost immediately. It has not been like that, right? Because it's not so easy to find the right ship and everything. So, and really it's not so easy to be alone. And so we decide to divide this by phases and build this together with the cruise companies. I have just come from Sea Trade in Miami, and I did show our project to the cruise lines. They are very interested, and hopefully we will sign a contract with one of them very soon. And what we are going to do there, that is phase one, we are going to establish programs on board that I will explain you which are those programs that will be also on board our own ship. And we are going to move forward with the technology into the lab that Jen is doing that in particular, as I will explain. So that's the phase one, to move forward in what is needed into the lab, on Earth, and also partnering with the cruise lines, preparing the passengers for what we are going to do massively in the whole industry. In the phase two, we are going to have our own ship. And well, here, there's an investor that is really pressuring me with a lot of information, and maybe we'll have that cruise ship very, very soon, and design the device. So then we can make some of our partners to use that device, and then we can license that to the waste treatment units companies, as Wärtsilä, for example, and then we can license this to the whole world. That's how you do with the technology. You do it by phases. So that's the idea. The programs are shown there. There's a very nice program that I like most because it's the most Navy-style program. It's called Whale Protector, where we are going to identify the whales with binoculars. We are going to upload the pictures of the whales. And do you know that you can identify even the name of the whale in particular because of the tail? They are just like fingerprints. So we are going to know which whales are going around. We are going to hear them with hydrophones, and we have a specialized equipment for that. Then the second program is only if the ship has enough space to establish a lab. And what are we going to do there with our own scientists? And you all know also the scientist called Matt Saboka. He was just in Antarctica. We are going to deploy drones that when the whale blow, we go with that drone, and we take a sample of the snot. And with that, we can, without touching the, you're laughing, it's good. without touching the whale, we can analyze if the whale is pregnant, is stressed, how is the nutrition about the whale, everything. So we are not just going to see how many whales are there or the kind of species. We're also going to see how they are physically. So and also we are going to take samples of the water columns, so we can also measure and establish our baseline and then measure our impact. Because as I'm going to show, we are going to always iterate in the same places. We have also a couple of artists, and we have also a lot of people that want to work as an artist with us, because the idea is to also teach the passengers how to paint about the ocean, how to take dramatic pictures, so they're going to be connected where they are sailing and not just being in the casino, for example, right? So the idea is to make them go into the deck. And obviously, we are going to have lectures that will explain to the passengers how they, just for being sailing into the ocean, they can be an ocean restorer, an environmental restorer, a climate restorer, right? So that's the idea. We have a lot of technologies that we want to develop. I will focus on the first one, but all of the technologies, as I said, are whale-inspired technologies that will make the ships to become ocean restorers. And the first technology is what is called the whale barometric reactor. And what are we going to do there? We are going to take the organic waste that is already been dropped into the ocean. All of the ships, when they go offshore 12 nautical miles, they drop the food waste and the human waste because they cannot transport that, right? They cannot be on board. So they after a process, in the case of the food waste, it's just a maceration, and then they drop it. In the case of the human waste, it's something a little more complex, but they drop it. So we are going to take that and transform that into engineered nanoparticles, and that will drop that portion of that waste transformed, and we will biomimic the positive impact that should be happening into the ocean because of the whales. So we are going to create artificial whale feces because of a portion of this waste. And the good thing, as I said, is that Jen is moving forward with that already into a human nutrition because she's working in the Moffitt Cancer Center. So this device to create these engineered nanoparticles is already being created. And the pictures of the granules are there. And that is how they look, right? So we are going to just change the input of what this device will create. So we are going to be in what is called the circular economic sphere because the waste will be just transformed into something positive for the environment as the whales should be doing it. Why the whales? Because the whales feed deep in the sea and then they release the feces into the surface of the ocean. The one that was most impactful in the world was the blue whale because of his size, right? However, we catch 99.9% of the blue whales and only 5% has been recovered. So that's why the ocean doesn't have this tool. This tool was destroyed by the whaling era. So the ocean is not having anymore this what is called the whale pump, right? And the good thing about this is not only about create more life, that's enough for being very good because we will be able to recover the fisheries, for example. We will be able to recover the economy. Also, it's estimated because of past experiments doing with only iron, that 10% of that biomass will sink. So when the phytoplankton bloom and grow, they take the CO2 for growing. And then when this phytoplankton dies, it goes to the bottom of the sea in what is called marine snow. And that marine snow is on the bottom of the sea, and we have taken the CO2 from the atmosphere cycle put it back into the mineral cycle again, doing exactly the opposite of what you do when you drive your car, a diesel car or gas car. So that is the good thing about this whale pump, and we are going to take advantage of that, obviously. So Positive Polar is committed to create experiences that will, as I explained to you, connect you with the power of whales, and you will remember that forever. I have some videos. I don't know if it's possible to show.
Well, we have a seal, and the whales here.
And you know.
That glow is amazing. You can feel the smell of the krill, of the fish is just incredible how they want to and Antarctica. They are very curious and they want to connect with you. And the picture that we have in our website, it shows a minke whale just popping up and trying to have eye contact. The other thing that you can see, we are also going to go to more warmer places. There's a specific place that I did have my really life-changing moment of the connection with the whales, where it's called the aha moment. Yeah, well, the sperm whales, as you see, you can swim with them. And we were in Dominica, and there's only local people there that do these tours. And yeah, very local people. So I'm come from the Navy. I was kind of I don't like this too much. So it was a very small boat, and the guide was just a local guy, and I didn't trust him really. But he told us, me and Jen, he told us, you know what? When I will go to because we did take a cruise, a big cruise, a Royal Caribbean cruise that we were only hours in Dominica, but we were with that specific mission to swim with sperm whales, and he told us, you know what? When I will tell you jump into the water, you have to jump into the water without hesitation. If you hesitate, you are not going to be able to see the sperm whale. So, okay, I will do that. You have to be ready with your equipment and everything. And we were like hearing the whales first with the hydrophones. As you know, the sperm whale has a click. It's like a Morse code, and they have identified that they have a whole language of that. And so they said, okay, the whales are here. We are trying to catch them, and then suddenly he said, yeah, jump into the water right now, jump into the water. I go, okay, we jump into the water. I clean my mask, and then I saw a female sperm whale and a calf swimming up to us. And I said, this female sperm whale will protect her calf, right? So, okay, I'm done. It's Moby Dick, all of my brain of whaler will come to my mind. And he's going to destroy me. That's obvious, he's protecting her calf. So they start swimming up to us, but they were starting swimming slower and slower. Seems to be that this is not an attack. And they really make a circle in between us. So they start swimming around us. So the sperm whale was teaching her baby that we were not a threat and trying to connect with us. It was just amazing. Well, one of the most amazing experiences that they have, together with the experience that I told you that the minke whale did try to have eye contact in the pole area. So these incredible animals are really trying to connect with us, trying to showing us their importance, how we can live together with them. Going back to the project, we, as I said, we are developing by phases. We are moving forward into the lab and also with the programs, and they will have our prototype, and then testing with partnership cruise lines, and then finally licenses to the whole world. Hopefully, Jen has made connections with the University of South Florida, so we are going to move forward into the phase 1 with them. But the question is it's not if this will work or not, is how efficient are we going to be, right? Because maybe we will be able to use 20% of this waste, maybe 5% of the waste. Maybe for the lipid cover, we will use the cruise food waste. And for the minerals, we will use the minerals that are present in the advanced wastewater treatment biosolids that they go after the process of the waste treatment units. So that is what we're going to know into this phase 1 because of these engineered nanoparticles. But I will explain you why that is important, obviously, to be how efficient we are going to be, but not so important because how much we can scale this. And I will explain you that also. So what we are proposing is an evolution of what is the normal artificial ocean fertilization, right? Biomimicking the whales, and that has a benefit that these minerals are more time in the photic zone. So the phytoplankton blooms are going to be more efficient. And for example, if Peter Fikowski's thesis is also correct, and you have, we can prove that this fertilization is better, for example, sailing through the eddies, we can also program when to disperse these minerals, and we will also do that with the ships into, for example, the eddies if that thesis is correct. We expect that we are going to disperse all of the time, or when it's going to be more efficient. And why, as I said, why we care about how efficient are we going to be, but what is not so important, because we are going to use existing assets that are the ships that are already sailing there. There's 110,000 ships sailing offshore around the world. So could you imagine if every of that ship will become a mechanical whale? That's what we are proposing. So if only 1/3 of the merchant fleet adopt our technology, our calculations based on past experiments with the Germans, with the polar sterns, have forecast that we can restore the environment with this technology in 50 years because of these numbers that are you seeing right now. So that's the potential of this technology, because, as I said, we are using an existing asset that is already there. The ship that we are going to jump into the phase 2. The ship that we have selected to our phase 2 has to have a lot of characteristics. Has to have space for cargo, good space for the passengers, and also space for the labs, right? So we have identified our first priority to become our first testing ship. The idea is this ship to become an ocean restoration embassy, and I hope to see you there sailing with us. That's the idea, to be here. We are also going to use carbon neutral fuel when it's going to be available for the boats, specifically from these companies. One is also a US-Chilean company called HIF that will provide carbon neutral fuel for the boats. And when we are going to be in the Arctic, we are working with a German company called Ineratec that will also provide the fuel for the boats that is carbon neutral. For the main engine, we have what is called a limestone reactor that captures 95% of the CO2 emissions. And that limestone that is without carbon, then it gets full of carbon, and we can use this limestone also for construction, for example. So that's also part of our circular economy. And as I said, the ship has a space for cargo, for the labs, and obviously for the passengers. Here's some pictures. I was there. The ship is sadly in Dubai now, so it's a kind of a problem. But we expect that that problem will be solved soon, because we want to start sailing in November with this ship. But the ship is already being refurbished, as you see in the picture. Has the space for everything what is needed to do, and also the cabins are very nice, and it's a turnkey operation. And our passengers will enjoy all kind of activities, right? There's programs, as I told you, whale protector, marine biotech, ocean restoration, but they're also going to be, we are going to have a good time. I'm there singing, and I like to sing karaoke also. So, and also I'm going to be on board. I'm going to be one of the crew, and then the captain. So yeah, and we are going to enjoy ocean-focused art pieces, etc. And we are going to sail, as I did explain, through the whale highways. From Antarctica, where I did grow, in Punta Arenas in Patagonia, going up through the Chilean fjords up to the islands where Moby Dick was inspired. Did you know that Moby Dick was inspired in the Chilean islands? Moby Dick was inspired in a specific island called Mocha. And that island, and the original name from Moby Dick was Mochadik. But then, Mochadik doesn't sound very good for English. So, okay, we're going to change it to Moby Dick. And yeah, the whalers did sail from New England right through the Cape Horn, and if you see the movie Heart of the Sea, for example, and when they get rescued at the end of the movie, oh, sorry, I did tell the end of the movie, they are rescued in a Chilean island that is Robinson Crusoe. It's a paradise, really. I have been there so many times. It's really, really nice. And then we are going up to following the migration patterns. We go to Panama, where the whales usually have their babies. And then we cross to Dominica, as I show you, where you can swim with sperm whales, Azores, and then we go and we intercept the summer of the Arctic. And that's how we are going to be, always following the summer. That's very good. And the idea is to lead the other cruise lines to become something positive for the environment and not just something neutral, right? So the business model for the Expeditionary Cruise Company is already proven. Our target is only 2% of this demand. There's a lot of demand for this kind of trips, really. As I said, we are going to be, the good thing about Positive Polar is that we are going to be financed by some sort of secure financing. It's not only about development technology, it's also about creating ocean restoration ambassadors, right? So the business model is that these tickets that we are going to have, the revenues because of that, we are going to transform that into science, right? So it's a secure way of funding and we are not going to depend only because of grants or philanthropies. The idea is to create a movement of ocean restorers. And we are going to also transport cargo to the most isolated communities that you saw there in the whale highways, Antarctic Peninsula, the Chilean fjords, Greenland, and also the most rarely visited islands. We have built a whole community with our commercial officers of business development managers, so we are ready to start selling with the travel agents our tickets when we start. We have also a growing community. Please follow us into our social media channels that we have. Mostly LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And we are also running a crowdfunding campaign. And also, we are hosting groups and events. And the idea is to, for example, the first Climate Restoration Alliance sailing to be in our ship, right? So that's the idea, to host this. And also the Rotary, because they have been very good also. And I will tell you specifically why. And we can also win money because of the carbon credits, right? Here, we are not going to be the first ones. There have already been some companies doing this, specifically one company called GigaBlue, that they have also certified the carbon credit with Pure Earth. It's another approach. So this could be a very credible way of revenues. And also, we are going to license lease this space for other alternatives, but where really is the impact and also the money that we will win is because of the revenues that we will have because of the license. This technology to the other shipping companies, right? Because that's how the world is. The world is moved by money. So we have to understand that as a business entrepreneur, I did understand this, and that's why I'm into this. So the traction that we have had, we have, as I said, we have reached technology readiness levels 2. That is, the whole concept has been validated by specific scientists. And now we are moving into the proof of concept into the lab. We have a crowdfunding campaign that everyone can invest up to even $100 if they want right now. That crowdfunding campaign that is on WeFunder is going to be closed the 13th of April, so in 9 days. And all of the people that has invested there, they will have shares of the company, and we have raised $250,000 in this round. And we have also an active social media campaign with more than 3,000 followers together by LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. So we have been really creating this ocean restoration ambassadors movement. Which are our competition? Which are similar to Positive Polar? Well, these companies, Lindblad, as I said, has been doing really good because of these citizen science programs. So we expect that we are also going to be good. And the Schmidt Ocean Institute has been also doing very well. They are non-profit, however, and they are also developing technologies or science. So, but Positive Polar is the only one that mix this combination with passengers and also deliver new technology. So the possibility of having revenues is like a normal cruise line in the initial years, but then because of the technology that we are going to create, is going to be really what is called a unicorn. I'm not alone. We have a whole team of much more experienced people in that area than myself. I'm just the visionary and the founder. But yeah, they are really great. Hans, he's a legend of the cruise industry with RS also. Matt Saboka has also advised us, and he's going to lead the marine biotech program. Our artist, Ines, also, she's from Austria. Mette, she's from Denmark. She's ready for start the whale protector program. And Tim, that was last year here, is also supporting us into our lecture programs. And we have also been advised of expedition that is called Field Hunter. So yes, we have built this business model in a very carefully way, and we are ready to move forward. And if you invest right now, you will have also some perks when we start with our own cruise ship. As I told you, that's an actual picture of the place. And yeah, so we have been financed with some angel investors because of that. You have to think about this as not a short term. Short term is just a cruise business. Long term is really where the upside of Positive Polar is because of the certification of the carbon credits and also because of the license. And one of the most important angel investors that is also a climate restoration ambassador is Chuck Tomasoli. That is from the Rotary, and he has invested in us. He has believed in us, and that's why he told me that I'm authorized to tell you. And if anyone want to contact him, and how he did it in a very particular way that did almost no effort for him. It's very, I don't, if you want, you can contact me directly for that. But yeah, he's one of our best supporters and for me also a guide. So in this almost 3 years, we have built everything of what is needed to create a maritime technology development corporation, and now we are ready to implement our programs on board our own ship or on board other cruise lines to develop the proof of concept of our initial technology that will be the whale biomimicry reactor. And now we need only people like you, right? So in Positive Polar, this is a statement. While most phytoplankton carbon sequestration solutions must address dumping regulations and the challenge of delivering materials to the right locations, Positive Polar solves an existing waste management problem by using platforms that are already traveling there, biomimicking a natural process and turning passengers into ocean restoration ambassadors through experience. And that's how you really embrace what you do, because you love and support what you do, right? So in Positive Polar, you can travel as an owner, enjoying special benefits and boosting a positive social movement. You can have strong financial returns, do well by doing good, but most important of all, you can restore the whales, the ocean wildlife, and the environment, because we have the perfect team and the asset to do it. So join us. It's not only an expedition, It's an outlaw water adventure on a mission to help the planet. Positive Polar, Restoring Our Ocean, pole to pole. Thank you very much. I open to any question. We have still a lot of time, so.
So I have a question. I'm comparing your ocean dumping to the Foundation for Climate Restoration dumping.
It's not ocean dumping. I must correct that immediately. We are not doing ocean dumping.
You are putting something into the ocean in a mixture that has not been put in before.
No, we are transforming what is already been dropped. So we are not doing ocean dumping.
We are transforming what's already being put in by nature. So how is that different?
No. The ships already are dropping waste.
That is
So
correct.
The only
I
thing that we are
understand.
doing is that transforming what is already been dropped. So we are just changing the composition of what is already been dropped. So this is part of, that's why we are going to stay into the waste management regulations and not into what you said. We are not doing that. We are transforming what is already been dropped. Okay?
Okay, I understand that part, but the word transforming, you're changing it.
Yeah, we are changing it, but we are not adding anything. We are not adding anything, any mineral. We're not putting, we don't have a container with something and put it into this mixture. No, we are just changing the composition mixture.
Okay, so you're not adding any material.
No, that's why I said that I don't know how many percentage of this will be useful, because could be 5%, 20%. That is what we are going to know in the lab. And
Okay.
that's why we are authorized to do that already, because the ships already do this. So we don't have to ask a specific permission. I'm a captain, and I know the law of the sea.
Okay,
So
that's
I know
very
what I'm talking about.
encouraging. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Coming right at you.
Well, thank you for this talk. Actually, I guess I need to introduce myself. Actually, I'm Svetlana Krakovska, and I wintered in Antarctica in 1997 at Academic Vernadsky Station, which is former Faraday. I believe you know this station, which is in Antarctic Peninsula.
What's his name?
Academic Vernadsky Station.
Yes, the Ukrainian one.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Ukrainian.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was treated very well there. Thank you.
Yeah. And actually, you know about Noosphere. It's former British James Clark Ross, GCR, which
yeah.
is now Noosphere is our new Ukrainian ship vessel of ice class. So it actually perfect with all your requirements for this. So this is first one, and we actually seeking for cooperation, because to maintain ship it's really very expensive. So we need cooperation. So I propose you to consider this.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
It's first. Well, another, you said that you will drop, you will transform what you already drop in the sea.
Yeah.
As far as I know, over the 60 latitude, it is not permitted. Because I remember myself on this ship, it was not permitted to drop anything after the 60 latitude.
Yeah, but that is the waste, the physical waste,
But they put it in some boxes, so it is not
exactly the boxes. Yes, you are talking about the normal plastic, that plastic, that paper bags and all of that. The ships are authorized to drop that.
No.
No below the 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the organic waste. The organic waste is always being dropped after 12 nautical miles, even in Antarctica. I did saw that. I'm in the Navy, so and specifically the fishing vessels that are there, as you know.
Yeah, maybe fishing, because I was on the scientific, vessel.
They are not.
They did not.
Yeah, they are dropping this. This is something very common. But you are talking about. That's why maybe I'm confused. Is the paper bag, the plastic.
No. Anything,
normal trash.
any organic, so nothing they can
Okay.
do over 60, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, the same at our station, in fact. So we had this organic waste, which we treated.
Nazi?
Yeah, in Antarctica. Yeah. So we treated with some microbes, in fact, to make it more.
Yes, you have to take that trash out of the continent. You're right. I did
Yes.
that job with the ship Achilles. So we take the trash. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And we put it back to the
Yeah, to
continent.
Punta Arenas, yeah.
Yeah, Punta Arenas, yeah.
Yeah, I speak about organic, in fact.
Yeah.
With organic, we put microbes to make it more, more safe for nature.
Yes.
Well, it's just maybe conversation, but I have a question. So what about International Polar Year, which will be in 2032? Do you plan some cooperation with scientific program?
Yes, we want to, as I said, we are working with the University of South Florida, and we are working together with the scientific program of Matt Saboka. That is, he's leading all of these studies about the whales in the Southern Ocean. So he's going to join us, and we are going to cooperate in that specific study that he's doing of how the whales are mapping, are being in, because of the interaction with the krill industry. So he's doing that job, and we are going to be part of that. Yes. So we are under the scientific framework of a scientist. However, as I said, this is waste management action. So we don't need that specifically to move forward.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that you need to coordinate, because there is a lot of plans now with international scientific community, with ocean.
We are going to be part of IATO and everything of what is needed. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
With human wastewater treatment trains on land, we use alum to coagulate some of the solids and allow gravity to treat the pollution as a part of our permitted treatment processes. Some of the additives that you put, that you want to put in your effluent, coagulate, create greater density. Couldn't you call that treatment instead of transformation, and avoid some of the conflicts with the concept of dumping?
Yeah, the ships already do that. What you are saying, in the waste treatment units, they treat all of the biohazards, and then after that they drop this. So the ships do some sort of a treatment, specifically with the human waste, right?
Right.
So that waste treatment unit that's already the job that you said. They take all of the biohazards, and they create what is called a sludge, right?
Correct.
And that sludge is what we are going to work with. So we are going to be at the end of the process.
Right. Civil engineer, when you do the primary treatment and you create a sludge, then you do secondary sludge treatment.
Yes.
Which is treatment, and you're calling it.
Yes.
You're calling it transformation.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you.
Good.
I will do that. I will change that.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's we are friends. So allied forces. We are alliance, and so that.
How big a unit or facility do you need on one of the major large cruise ships to transform the waste into something usable? How much space will that actually take on the boat?
How much space?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet. That's why we are going into these phases, and the idea is to be commercially viable. And as I said, the idea is to add another part of in this waste treatment unit, and the idea is to be as efficient as possible. But we don't know, but I cannot answer that question because we don't have the device yet. We are just moving forward into the lab phase. However, we don't expect that will be too big because of what we are creating there. The device that is already being created for human nutrition is not so big. So, but as I said, we don't know. However, in the ships, they have a space and the machine area. And unless will be something huge, yeah, it will not be. There's always uncertainty about that. However, we think that will be a normal size because of what we have already been seen, right? The idea is to also have not to use too much energy for this, right? Because the idea is to be as efficient as possible to create this treatment and not transformation. Yeah, yeah. But we don't know, and we are going to add as a device for the organic waste. Yeah.
This is so interesting and just great, and I wish you all the best in this.
Thank you.
Future and present. I saw the name of a ship had to do with the British mail drop or something. Is that because of their Commonwealth countries that are spread around, or that they used I'm just curious about where ship-wise. I'm just interested in sort of synergy between different types of ships, as you mentioned, not just limiting it to cruise ships, but
Yeah.
what type of other companies or industries?
I don't like to talk too much about a specific ship because it's not ours yet, but I will respond to you the question. This is a Royal Mailing ship.
Yeah.
It was a Royal Mailing ship.
And now everything's by air or something?
Yeah, it did sail from Cape Town to Tristan da Cunha, and that was his main track to replenish that island, and also those islands that are in between, you know, San Helena, that's why it's called San Helena, where Napoleon was, and the other islands that are there in between. So yeah, the ship was doing that, and that's what I like most about that ship, because I did that also job in the Navy a lot. So all of this cargo deliver, I was in charge of that when I was a lieutenant. So yeah, that's why I like this ship so much, because it was also kind of sort of Navy ship as the one that I was used to work. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part B, I see that this is not for a nonprofit purpose, and I don't understand really how all these government agencies would work, but would internationally or globally every country's Navy potentially be interested in having their ships utilize this technology?
Yeah, the idea is to as I said, every ship to adopt this technology that go offshore 12 nautical miles. This is not for small ships because they do something else with the waste, or it's too little. But this is for ships that go offshore 12 nautical miles.
There was that mangrove discussion in another panel. And I'm thinking the smaller ships could help the mangroves than the big ships.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, you're right. This idea is also transport the passengers into that initiative, so we can create a whole program for our passengers to see another ocean restorations techniques as the one that you are saying, growing mangrove, growing kelp, for example. So our passengers will enjoy not only being in the high seas. When they go into the shore, they will also be able to see this kind of initiative. So yes, you're right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bonus question?
Yes, please.
Now, this is my curiosity. I've seen Hugo, and forgive me if you've covered this. And audience, please forgive me. I've had to do some coordination. I've been in and out. I hope I didn't disturb y'all. What's the volume? I mean, I've seen some academic work on this, I believe, come across my desk in the last 12 to 18 months. I don't recall the authors. Forgive me if you've been one of them. What's the volume, the natural volume before humans began harvesting whales of whale poop that we've now eliminated from our oceans?
Yeah, that's a that's a very good question. That's a very good question. It's a bonus question. Obviously, we don't know the exact answer. However, I can answer in how we did calculate our impact into the environment, it is supposed to be that this whale pump in the past was able to sink between 2 and 10 gigatons per year. So we are going to fill that gap first. But then you saw, but that's not the number that you show. You're going to tell me that, right? You did show another number.
We need to go more negative.
You did show 64 gigatons, right? So yes, the idea is to, at the beginning, fill the gap. I'm here with allies, fill the gap and kind of being accepted because we are just filling the gap. But then when we prove this, that this is efficient and safe and natural, the idea is to scale this even to more what was supposed to be happening before the whaling era. Because, for example, the sperm whales, they were everywhere. And because they don't migrate, only the males go around and then come back. The females stays in the same places. Yeah, it's very interesting how they, I laugh because I'm kind of that. So the sperm whales were everywhere. So the idea is to boost the ocean productivity with this technique, similar to what also Peter is proposing. Yeah.
So 2 to 10 gigatons of carbon that can be sequestered
because of the whale pump.
Because of the whale pump, but you're looking at 64 as the possible maximum. So if we're looking at carbon content of treated mammal wastewater sludge, the carbon content being 25% of the sludge, then 8 to 40 gigatons of whale poop per year.
Yeah.
Is plausibly how much whales
as I
generated?
said, we have calculated with the calculation that I show. It shows a ship dropping these nutrients during the daylight, just as the Polar Stern did, and we did take that numbers that the Germans did already with iron, right? But obviously we have to measure how will be really our impact. So that's our only approximations, and that's why it's also good to know that other initiatives we can be complementary to other ones. But yes, we think that with this approach and with the ships, if the calculations are similar to what was happening with the Polar Stern, we will be able to sink as much as 64 gigatons per year.
It's the plausible natural numbers that are amazing because of the size and the number of whales before humans started interfering.
Yeah.
It just goes to show the scale and scope of our human systems, of our natural Earth systems, our biological systems are.
Yeah, and you also have to consider that it was not only the whales. Remember that if you have a lot of biomass, all of that biomass in some way capture carbon because they grow and then they die. So they could be, maybe it was 10 gigatons only about the whales, but what about the other fish stocks? So if you increase the biomass, the productivity of the ocean, you can. That's why we don't know the number. It could be just only by natural way similar to the 64 gigatons. So yeah, that's our hope. Yeah, thank you very much. Peter, please. The carbon removal, we are going to measure mainly after we take advantage of other techniques, as for example deep green. We are going to measure that by satellite, right? By satellite, how big are the phytoplankton bloom. And that's why we are working together, because what you are going to measure could be a simulate of what we can produce, right? And going into our own, we have also our own program that will be by phases. So at the beginning, you measure what is happening into the lab. Then you go to a control space that we expect to be that into a Chilean fjord. What is good about the Chilean fjords is that they are the most deeper fjords in the world. So we can see what is happening there, and then move forward to the ocean. And in the ocean, there's not the same. It's only one ocean, but there's a lot of seas because the seas has different composition. So we will have to measure what is going to happen specifically in that seas because of that composition, and then measure how the phytoplankton bloom is and make our calculations. But it's also a phases that we are going to have, but we have also already planned how to do it. So yeah. Thank you.